What up, plant tribe? So tonight we're doing something a little different. We're having a couple drinks. And we are answering the burning questions that you want to know.
All of them. Maybe not all of them.
Most of them.
The ones that were asked.
There's some that we had like duplicates, so I just kind of went with the first one that came in. Okay, so yeah, that's what we're doing tonight. It is a little off plant topic related. However, there are some plant related questions. So hopefully you enjoy this, and yeah, so buckle up. Let's do a Q&A. Okay, so there's a lot of questions. I feel like, I think we've picked like, there's about 10 or 15.
It's decent amount.
I didn't count, to be honest. Let's just see how this goes. Let's just get into her. Okay, so the first question that we had was from Kira O'Hanlon. And her question is, how did you drag your hubby into your videos?
I just kind of showed up on the scene one day.
He was walking by and I was like, hey, you there. Want to be in a video?
I was like, hi. No, but I will anyway.
Truthfully speaking, I think what the first video that you were in was, I think it was the repotting video.
I thought it was an unboxing, but maybe it is.
You
maybe
videoed
it was that.
an unboxing.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah. But I didn't have to drag him. He actually, like, he's the type of guy, if he didn't want to do it, he wouldn't be here. So,
pretty much.
Yeah, so he's a little less comfortable with it still because I've done a lot more of it than he is, but he's getting better.
Yeah. I still feel awkward being in front of a camera and talking to camera. But, I don't know. A group of people, I'm fine. I can socialize easily enough. But this,
it's like the class clown.
Kind of, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I like that title.
Full of useless knowledge and
but it makes people
random
laugh.
one-liners.
But it makes people laugh.
It's true. It's true. It does.
But as far as this goes, yeah, it's, I don't know. I enjoy it, but I still find it awkward.
But you do such a good job.
I do what I can.
Yeah. Okay, so I actually have two questions that came in from Pam, from Pammy's Planty Things. And her first question is, what is your favorite plant to propagate?
I don't know. Seems to me like propagating is a pain in the ass. But I don't know. Like it's...
Propagating is fun.
Yeah, maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I've never propagated anything, so I have no idea.
So, I don't know. I mean, obviously the easy stuff to propagate is fun because it's quick. Like things like the trailing philodendrons and pothos and that sort of, whatever.
That's why I think it's a pain, because when you if you know something's easy, fine, it's going to be a success. But if other things are, they're going to be difficult, you put it in water or whatever you do, and then it's hit or miss. It either grows or it doesn't. If it doesn't grow, then it's a disappointment. And that's where I find it a pain.
But I think it's the challenge in because I know I got this Hoya compacta, and for the longest time it wasn't doing anything. And then when it finally sprouted roots, that was really rewarding. I was so excited. Yeah. So I feel like, it's a cross between the easy things and then some of the more challenging things that kind of give you that sense of reward when you actually see it work. You're like, nah, and then you feel like a mad scientist.
You get extra for free.
Yeah, and it's like
sort of, I guess.
Free plants.
It's like it'd be nice if we could propagate that Thai constellation.
Oh, we will when it gets big enough. Don't you worry about that. He's too small right now. Oh, your head's, oh no, he's right in the middle, look.
The bright light's getting
him. So Pam's second question, who's your favorite YouTuber? Oh, that's a really difficult question. And I'll tell you why that's a difficult question. There are so many, it really depends on what I'm want to watch, or what what questions I'm trying to get answered. I will say that if it's something outdoor related, I 100% always go to Laura from Garden Answer, because I feel like she's like the outdoor gardening Bible.
Yeah, she knows a lot.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't really have a favorite, I would say.
I think it's difficult because everybody's good in their own way. I mean, like, everybody's got a unique style. Everybody's got, just a different way of doing things, and they bring their own, I guess, personality to it, and it makes it unique. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint, who exactly would be your favorite, because you enjoy watching everybody, and it's, I don't know.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Thank you. So that's pretty much it. I can't choose. It depends on the day. It depends on what I'm looking for. So our next question is from Jolene, foliage lover. And Jolene asks, how does your hubby feel about the plant kingdom?
Honestly, thought it was going to be a phase at first. Because, I mean, I've known people over the years, they have plants, and it's usually they buy a plant or get it given to them, and it sits in a corner and then dies. But, I don't know, it started with the succulents, and then, I thought, okay, she, watching videos, doing little arrangements here and there, and, they look good and all that, but, I mean, I didn't really think much of it, and then the tropical plants started to pour in slowly, and so, oh, maybe it's not a phase after all, maybe this is something serious. And it was more, as long as everything was tastefully decorated, then I was okay with it. If it's just going to look like a bunch of plants are shoved into corners here and there just for the sake of having a plant in the house, and I'm not okay with that. But I don't know.
Luckily for him,
you don't like things that are not tastefully decorated anyway. So
no, I don't.
If it's not tastefully decorated, it's not working.
Things have to be like
OCD precision.
It's not like real OCD, but you know what I mean, right? Not to be disrespectful to people who have OCD.
No.
Like actual OCD, but that's there needs to be a different term for that, I feel like. You know what I mean? For people who are so, like,
I guess
anal retentive. That's what it is.
I was going to say well organized, but that sounds more fun.
Yeah, that sounds... Oh, well organized would have been a better way. Moving along, next question. Chantel wants to know, first she has a comment. You look way too young to be a grandma. Oh, and then she has like a whole bunch of questions rolled into one. So I'll read the whole thing first. Put it up on the screen here for you. So you look way too young to be a grandma. How old are you? How long have you been collecting plants? What was your first plant? Which plant have you had the longest? I know it's more than one question, but I'm nosy. Okay, first of all, that's cute. Okay, let's try to answer these. I'll try to answer them quickly. How old are you? I am actually 40. Yeah, my daughter is almost 20. I have been collecting plants like this crazy, collecting plants only for 4 or 5 months, like really hardcore. I've always had house plants.
Succulents, in this endeavor, I'd say it's probably 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, like I've always had house plants. My grandmother had like a neon green thumb, so I kind of grew up in the gardening and house plant thing. I grew up with my grandparents, so that makes sense. Anyway, so my first plant, if we're talking like way back in the beginning, I honestly, because I've been collecting plants for so long, I'm not entirely sure. I believe it was a Ficus benjamina.
Don't cry for me, Benjamina. I don't know. I think it's part of the song, and then I saw it on a comedy bit.
I can't. Oh boy.
This is what I do.
See? Okay. Which plant have you had the longest? That's a toss-up. I have a kaffir lily that was given to me by a friend about 14 years ago, 13 years ago.
Just before I met.
I think. And then I have a money tree that I've had. I don't know how long I've had that thing. It's been around a long time.
Currently in quarantine.
It's currently in quarantine. Yeah, on my back porch. So
where it's not doing well.
It may not have any more cameos, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, that was it. And it's okay to be nosy. We're okay with that. Ivy. Okay. Thank you for your question, Chantel. Next question is from Steph Hall. You guys look like you're about 22. What is your secret? First of all,
moisturizer.
I love you. You are so sweet. That is so nice of you to say. Again, like I said, I'm 40 and Jordan is
34.
So yes, there is a 6-year gap between us. Before you call me a cradle robber.
Well, sometimes, like with all the gray I have, the 6-year gap looks like it's on the negative side for me.
Everybody thinks he's older because he's got lots of grays. I love you.
You look distinguished.
Distinguished.
We'll go with that.
We'll go with that, yeah.
Or I'll go with that.
So she wants to know what our secret is. I think it's makeup and lighting.
Me too.
Although...
Makeup and lighting. Though I use less makeup now than I used to. Make sure you get my good side. What am I saying? They're all my good sides.
Oh, Lord. Lord. Okay.
That's true.
I think maybe the other thing that may make us look younger than we are is the fact that we have braces, which is something we've never mentioned, although I do slur over them a lot.
I find and then I think going back to doing the video thing and feeling awkward, I think part of what makes me feel awkward is I find my lip catches on my braces a lot, so I'm constantly doing that in the video.
Yeah.
Get to a point where I don't even notice I'm doing it, but it's just
sticks.
Habit now, so you know. I don't know.
So that's our guesses. I truthfully don't know, but thank you so much. I appreciate that. Is so sweet.
Thank you.
I think you're being extra sweet saying 22, but I'll take it.
I don't get
all
carded
day long
anymore at the liquor store, the LCBO.
Oh, I got a side note, a story here. I gotta tell you a story because this one had me like, okay, so my friend and I, we go to a concert and she's a couple years younger than me. So we're in the line to grab a beer before we head in to watch Dierks Bentley, who P.S. is amazing in concert. So we're standing in line, she's in front of me. The young lady behind the counter cards my friend. So she's like, oh, that's great. So she hands over her ID and great, no problem, here's your drink. So I walk up, please ask me, please ask me. So she does, and I was like so excited. And I hand her my ID and she does this. Oh my God, you're the same age as my mom. So Nikki went from like, grab my beer, I grabbed my ID, and I was like, good day, sir. And I left.
Tell your mom I said you're grounded.
Oh my God. That was awful. It was hurtful.
I know. Well, you got carded. I don't even get carded anymore.
It was like, I felt, it was both, you know? Like I got carded, which was super cool.
It's like she carded you just to slam you.
Right? Who does that?
Maybe your mom looks really young too, and it was a compliment. And that meant to be a slam.
I didn't take it as a compliment.
No. You didn't. That sounded it.
Okay, moving along.
Yes.
Thank you, Steph, for your question. Catherine, she says, Not a question. No, wait, it is. How cute are you guys? We're so cute.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say we're definitely an 11 and 3/8.
3/8?
Fine. 3/4.
Thank you, Catherine. You're so sweet. That's so cute.
I think we make a good couple.
We totally do.
We do. That's our thing. We do that often. And we also high five. We're that couple.
Yep. So next question. Crazy Plant Doctor asks, what medium do you use for your anthuriums and at what humidity do you keep them? Thanks. So my anthuriums I plant in the same as all of my aeroids. I see a lot of people, measuring things out and you need a, 1 part this, 1 part, like I don't do that. And if you do, like totally up to you. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own thing. Some people feel more comfortable kind of measuring things out. I don't.
It'll take a lot of time with all these plants for you to do that.
I do it the same way I cook. It's just like wing stuff in. But basically my end goal is to make a chunky, airy soil mix. So I use a lot of perlite, a lot of bark. I've tried a few different ones. I have found one that I like a little bit more than the others that I've only been able to find in a couple different stores. Is the cat puking?
Nope. That's like that weird cough thing she does. It sounds like a... Don't mean to laugh, but it's difficult not to. It sounds like a big wheeze. It sounds like she's about to bring up a hairball, but she never does. When you hear that...
That's a hairball.
Then you know, like that. When it sounds like she's beatboxing, she's about to lay it down.
Poor Ivy. Our cat's okay before you send me hate mail. Like, our cat's fine.
She doesn't really get
No,
hairballs often.
she doesn't. She doesn't, never. Okay, anyway, so back to the soil.
I digress. You digress. We digress.
So whatever potting mix that I grab, that's usually the smaller portions. So it's like equal parts that and probably perlite, and then it's quite a chunky mix so that the water drains. They don't like really dense soil like no aeroid does, because in nature they're used to growing on trees, rocks, kind of all over the place. So you don't want to have them in a dense soil mix in your home because they're not going to do well. They're going to get root rot. And that's no fun for anybody, especially when you spend the money that we do on these aeroids. Humidity. So in my home, I do have all of my aeroids in about, I try to keep it between 65 and 75 ideally. Depending on the day, if we have to open a window, sometimes that drops a little bit to about 55 to 60, but it's never been like a problem.
It's never been a breathing hazard or anything. You do feel it using the railings sometimes on the way out the door, if it's on a real humid day. But, I don't know. I kind of, going slightly off topic here, I guess, but and I know all these plants must originate from somewhere in the world, but I think it's weird to think that, and maybe it's just because I see them in pots and you buy them in stores and stuff, but there's somewhere in the world where these things are growing and it's
like
just,
weeds?
Yeah, and it would be natural. So we look at these things in awe and spend all this money on them, but really in the countries they hail from, people just be like, yeah, like they're everywhere. We can't get rid of the things.
We're like, we'll take them.
We spend hundreds of dollars for a leaf of it.
That's true. It's true.
Oh, I'm constantly cutting them down, and they just keep coming back. Just like the Thai constellation, like all these crazy plants. You think these are native to some country, and they grow, like as you said, probably just like weeds, and it's just like we see grass, they probably see these things, and it's just odd.
That'd be cool.
Or maybe not. I'm sure there's some that reside in rainforests, and it's not as easy to get to, but that's always blown my mind.
Yeah, that was a little like.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's true. So yes, all of mine are thriving. I see that out of the corner of my eye. What are you doing? Oh Lord. Don't ask. So all of mine are thriving. They are doing really well, and I do keep them between 65 and 75 ideally. I hope that answers your question. If you have more questions on that, by all means. I'm slowly every, like month or so going to throw in a spotlight plant video. So I'll kind of go through all of my rare house plants and do like a video on each of them. I did do one on my philodendron billieti. If you missed that one, you can check that out in my playlist on Spotlight, Plant Spotlights.
Plant Spotlights.
Thank you for your question. Next question. Oh, Brad sent in like 4.
What up, Bradley?
Although the first one I'm going to skip over because I did answer that one. So Brad's second question was, what is the top plant on your wish list?
It was the elbow.
It was the elbow, and then my amazing, who I would like to call my friends now, Bryce and Christian, sent me the elbow Borsigiana for my 500 sub gift, and I lost my marbles. I honestly wish I had recorded myself opening that because I actually lost it.
I mean, even me not being big on the plants, like I thought that was a very generous gift. Like,
That's amazing. That was really nice. So sweet. So sweet.
I never would have expected anything like that.
No!
That was crazy.
Oh my God, no.
When I heard that, I was like, what? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, lost a little. So I feel like now...
I don't know, what's next on the list? What was the one? Probably the elbow.
Yes, now that I have the elbow...
We need
I need the elbow Borsigiana.
Yellow.
So if you don't know, so your elbow obviously is your white variegated Monstera.
Like albino.
And
white.
Yeah. And then you have your alba, which is a yellow variegated Monstera. So I feel like I need that one now. So I think, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of plants on my wish list right now. Eventually I'll do like I can't even give him trouble for that. He's totally correct.
So the whole page.
2. There's a lot of... Why? Stop it. There's a lot of plants on my wish list, but I think that's probably at the top right now. Yeah.
Start saving money.
Yeah.
I'll get the elbow next.
Those are a little harder to come by, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Although, I do think I know where I can find one.
Oh.
Okay, next question. Folio... Philia? Did I say that right? Is that right?
I think it's foliophilia, or it could be foliophilia.
Foliophilia.
It's one L. It's foliophilia.
Tell us how to pronounce it. Okay, so question. How are you able to afford all those amazing wish list plants? I'm in awe. Jordan and I both have pretty good jobs. So that helps a lot. We don't really have a whole lot of extracurriculars with the exception of our RV, and we take our RV a lot out through the spring and summer. Other than that, we enjoy each other's company, so we don't have a lot of outside stuff.
Yeah, really.
Is that normal?
I'm sure there's
I never really dawned on me before.
There's things we should be doing, and I'm sure we could find stuff to do outside, but yeah, for the most part, we're that couple. Again, we aren't annoyed by each other. We do enjoy each other's company.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
You bugger.
So, like Nikki said, we don't have a lot of extracurricular activities outside of work. So, we have a few extra dollars to spend, and we'll, save up or whatever, and we get them. They're not, I don't know, to me, I guess not being into the plants as much. I do think some of these are just really expensive for a plant, but I know they get far more expensive than what we've paid so far. Yeah, I'm coming around to them. I don't I don't mind it. I mean, as long as, you know, we're not starving all the time.
Nobody's ever going to believe that we're starving.
No, I'm not starving.
But on a serious note, my wine's empty. We'll be back after this short commercial break. Okay, we're back. I have wine. Okay. Oh, we have more questions from Bradley from What the Flock Farms.
What up, Bradley?
P.S.
Oh, she dug her claw on my leg. That really hurt. Ow.
I don't even remember what I gotta say now.
It said P.S.
I know, but I don't know why. Okay, anyways.
Was it
so,
about Brad?
I honestly have no idea.
Thanks, Ivy.
Yeah. It was like, squirrel! Ah!
That really hurt.
The pleasures of being blonde. Don't. You put a ring on it. Okay, so Brad's second question is, what plant is your absolute favorite? That's really difficult.
Good luck with that one.
I do have a lot of favorites. And, if you haven't watched Davi, she did a video and kind of challenged the rest of us plant YouTubers to this 5 plant in an emergency video. So I'm going to be doing that too because I think that'd be fun. It's going to be incredibly difficult because sitting here right now, I can't fathom. Like, I'd be a basket case.
I feel like the fire department would be stopping her from running back into a burning house.
It's true. After I save like the children and the pets, I would like, yeah, that's so right. It's so true. I totally would. So my favorite plant, I love all of my aeroids, and I don't know that I can actually pick a favorite.
Maybe do it by family. Like, what would be your
It's
favorite?
really hard. My favorite plant family is probably philodendron. That's probably my top one. Followed very, very closely by monstera, ivy. And then again, a very close third would be anthurium. I think those 3 families of plants are most definitely the ones that I covet the most.
I can see that.
Yeah. So although it's not uber specific, that's about as specific as I can get.
One of those things you can't, it's like the YouTuber thing. You can't really choose just one.
Although I was thinking about it, and if we're talking non-plant related YouTuber, 100% Rhett and Link from GMM.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
100%. They are hysterical. If you haven't watched GMM or Good Mythical Morning, oh my gosh, please go watch them. They are freaking so funny. The boys introduced us to them, and then even when the boys aren't home, we watch. Like, they are so funny.
They do some pretty crazy stuff, but it's fun, and it's
they really
makes
do.
You think.
Yeah, they're great. Anyways, so go subscribe to GMM because you won't be disappointed.
Not a sponsor.
Sponsor of another YouTube channel?
I don't know. It felt like the right thing to say, and I thought it was just important that it be said.
Good job.
That's what I do.
So Brad's last question is, what plant would you never get? I mean,
I can only see you not getting a plant or just being like, okay, like hardcore, that's not coming to the house, if it was something that was insanely toxic to the touch kind of thing.
They don't sell plants like that.
I know. Well, I'm sure you can get some. There are crazy stores for everything. I'm sure there's probably some store where you can go in and they, you know, for these weird collectors and stuff like that, you know. Why not? Why couldn't you?
I've never even heard of a plant like that.
No, I'm just saying it as an example. It's the only thing I could think of that where you
way out there.
Well, exactly. I think every plant's pretty much fair game to come into the house, provided it doesn't, you know,
It is
make
and
it
it
so
isn't.
we can't pay the rent.
I wouldn't say there's a plant I would never get. However, there is one family of plant that doesn't like float my boat as much. I do have a couple varieties of this plant, but and it's a huge variety and everybody loves them and I don't get it. And please don't send me gnarly messages because I'm about to say this. So
Messages.
I don't get the peperomia craze.
No.
I don't get it.
I mean, the watermelon one looks neat.
I love my watermelon peperomia. I love my peperomia pastrana, because who doesn't like teeny tiny turtles?
And pastrana sounds like pastrami. Who doesn't like pastrami sandwiches? Moving on.
But other than that, like I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all of you peperomia people. It's just, I mean, everybody has their own thing, right? And if like we all loved the same plants, this plant YouTuber community would be super boring.
Yeah.
Super boring.
All the videos would be the same.
Yeah. Okay, so if I had to kind of pick one of those, that would definitely be it. Okay, moving along. Everybody's like at their computers going, oh.
Delete.
Unsubscribe. Peperomia hater. Okay. My next question is from Sally. I almost said Shally. She would like to say that, Jordan, you are hilarious.
Thank you, Sally. I do my best.
I love the way you guys laugh with each other. My question for the Q&A is, do you guys have a wedding date set? I'm going to try to Cole's Notes this as much as possible. We had a wedding date set. Instead, we impromptu purchased an RV. And now we can't decide what we want to do. Now we think we were going to do a destination wedding. Now we think we're just going to do something small with like very, very close family and friends. And then just go away and party.
Yeah. I know. It's
like, we're not spring chickens. So I feel like having this big fancy wedding.
No. And it's probably going to be a lot cheaper to do it that way too. Because
Yeah.
while the whole destination wedding thing does sound fantastic, and I've heard that, some places will offer you deals because if it's a wedding, usually wedding means more people, and they're gonna, have more people spending money, so you'll get like a discount or something or whatever. But I mean, I also want to think about there are probably people that one can't get the time off for a destination wedding because they're not just gonna want to fly down there for like a day or two. They're gonna stay the week. People may not be able to do that at that time of the year, and while they would get sufficient notice to do it, it also depends on what comes up with their life, and also too, there are people that probably aren't going to be able to afford to do that. So.
See, also too.
Did I?
That is one of my pet peeves.
No, well, I never usually say that.
It's true, you don't.
Also, there are people.
It's redundant.
I know.
Sorry.
I know that. I didn't mean to say it. 34 years on this planet, that's probably the first time I've said it.
I don't think I've ever heard you say that before.
Exactly, first time I've said it.
There's this chick on the radio that I listen to. This is also too all the time, and every time I hear it, I'm like,
The twitch happens.
It's unnecessary. Okay, anyway.
But also, there are people I imagine who aren't going to be able to afford to spend $1,500, $2,000, or whatever it's going to be for this all-inclusive trip because you're going to make it worth it. And then you're spending money down there if you want to do other things, and who doesn't want to do some sightseeing or something while you're down in another country. So I think to make it easier, to make sure that everybody has a fair fighting chance at making it, that we hold it here locally and
Call it a day.
Call it a day.
Thank you for your question, Sally. But when we do decide to do that, we'll definitely let you know.
If you want to
We'll
post
definitely let you know. It'll probably be one of those things where like, let's just do it today because we seem to be really, really spontaneous like that. Like we'll get up in the morning and be like, hey, you want to drive 5 hours to go somewhere? And it's crazy. So
Done it.
Next question, again, is one. She asks, "What other plant YouTubers do you like to watch?" I have all of the people that I talk to all the time. I watch all of their videos, but I don't know. Again, it really depends on what I'm looking for. I definitely do support all of the plant YouTubers that I know. I faithfully watch all of their videos. But again, I mean, I would have to sit here with a list and read them off to you because there are a substantial amount of plant YouTubers that I watch. Your channel being one of them. So for the rest of you, if you haven't watched her channel, go check it out because she's just the cutest thing. You just want to squish her cheeks. Anyway, I honestly, the list would be way too long. Okay, Myra. Myra asks, how do you overcome plant loss?
Really haven't had much.
I haven't. This takes me back to the question I had earlier about peperomias because I annihilated a peperomia. I think the peperomia and the polka dot plant, which actually is still surviving, by the way. Oh, that's the one from the bathroom. No, I annihilated that other one. Okay, so I had 2 plants that I killed so far. I'm very much like a researcher. I want to find out about things. So I don't want to sound like I never kill a plant because it's not true.
You're not that good.
But so what I did, and you're going to laugh and totally judge me, and I totally accept that because it's laughable and judgeable. So I had this, and if you go back and watch my first plant tour, I have this pot hanging in my kitchen, and it had 3 different colored polka dot plants in it. And it was cute, and it was colorful. I don't know what I was thinking that day. So I was fertilizing the plants, and it was before I started using organic fertilizer, so I was using Miracle-Gro. And I went around and I was watering all the plants underneath, making sure not to get any water on the leaves because of the chemicals. And I don't know what...
You secretly hate the polka dot.
It must have been subconscious. I don't know. But I walked over to this poor plant, this poor defenseless thing, and I was like, just all over the top of it.
Die.
I'm not proud of what I've done, okay? It was the next day, it was like, it was not good.
It's like one of those things you realize you're doing it, but you don't stop. You're like, oh no, oh no.
I didn't even until the next day, and I was like, what happened? Oh. Yeah, that was probably it.
What happened to my plant?
So, how I overcame that is I threw it in the garbage, washed the pot, and used it for another one. I mean, honestly, I haven't lost... If I had lost, like, one of my aeroids, however, legit, I'd probably cry.
There'd probably be like a full-blown funeral service.
Like a child that loses a goldfish.
There'd be pallbearers and
it would not be good.
A stone and like the whole 9 yards. Like it would be like, there'd be like a moment.
So God forbid it ever comes to that day, but if it does, I will let you know at that point because I'm sure it's not going to be pretty.
You'll know the video when you see it. It'll be the one where she's crying. Where it starts off.
The second one that I'm crying, I've done that already.
Oh.
The other one was a peperomia that I just overwatered. And then I looked at it the next day and I went to pick up the pot and like it just fell, like legit fell apart. Like all the leaves just went, like it was barely holding on. And as soon as I touched the pot, it just went, good. I don't like, and I didn't cry about it. I didn't even care. I was like, well,
Yeah, you got another pot.
What's that like? Que sera, sera, you know, sort of thing.
He was gonna make it anyway. You going backwards?
I know, because I thought I had more questions. I think that was the last question. Unless my email is doing weird, funky things.
So one,
Did you?
into that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
we did. I think we got them all.
Yeah, we got them all.
Yay, us.
Well, how about that?
All right. This was probably a really long video anyways. Those are the
Probably.
ones that I sent to myself anyways. I apologize if I missed your question. We'll probably do another one of these a few months down the road, probably closer to, you know, like winter, maybe early spring,
Probably, yeah.
after we've kind of been around the scene a little while.
I could see that.
Yeah. But thank you so much for all of your questions, everybody. Those were some really great questions. We had a really good time answering them. That was a lot of fun.
That was
a lot of fun.
That. I'd be happy to do another one.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank all of you for asking your questions. Thank you guys for watching us answer these questions and be all random and ridiculous and silly, because that's what we do. And again, if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that. This is kind of like off the beaten path from what we normally do. Usually I try to post 2 videos a week. Usually they're plant related. This was like semi plant related, but not really. But I think because we're kind of new to the scene, maybe, you know, doing a little Q&A, getting to know us sort of deal would be
It's
cool.
not a bad thing, you know.
It'd be fun.
I think every channel has that. It's not
Yeah.
always going to be 100%, you know, boom about the plants. There are going to be things here and there, you know.
Yeah.
Just kind of keep it interesting, keep it fresh.
Sprinkle a little stuff in there.
Sprinkle it.
All right, guys. I digress. Thank you so much for watching. We love you all. Have a good night, day, week, month, year, and we will see you in the next one. Bye. That went well. That was fun.
I think it's
Too much of what?
I don't know. We digress a lot. That seems to be our thing.
It's because we ramble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Whatever.